Hello everyone, welcome to the third chapter of C++ training for beginners. In this training, we will focus on errors. So as all of you just starting your adventure with C++ programming, and it is quite difficult, especially in the beginning, because we have a lot of new things to learn, a lot of new commands and a lot of new styles. So especially in this stage of development, it's quite easy to get errors during the code compilation. And we need to understand that having error output, it's actually a good thing because we can relatively simple fix this bug because the compiler found it for us. And if we know how to read this console output, we can relatively simple make our code work again. So in this training, we will have a look on the some examples of errors, and we'll try to use the console output, the compiler output, to repair them. So in this chapter, in this training, we will again use our initial Hello World project. And let's try to change some things and try to induce some errors to our code. Let's first try if our code can compile. So after pressing F9, we can see, okay, there we go, Hello World. Our program finished with exit code number 0, which means everything is fine. We compiled our code. We can see the output. Okay. In the first chapter, I mentioned about the importance of adding the semicolon in the end of lines. So let's have a look what is going to happen if we just delete a semicolon in the return 0 line and build the project again. Okay, we can see compilation failed due to the following errors. Okay, so compilator is telling us, okay, you have some errors. We need to do something with it. Main CPP, this is our project name, a file name. And then it's pointing out int main, this is the name of the function where the error happened. And there we go, we have the line where the compiler suspects that we have some errors. And it's telling error, expected semicolon before bracket token. It's pointing to this line, so it's pointing that error is probably somewhere there. So we know more or less where to look at. So we can start looking from this point. And we can see, line number 17, we forgot semicolon. So after adding semicolon and recompiling the project, there we go. Project finished with error exit code 0. Everything is fine. That's cool. Let's try to delete the curly bracket and see what is going to happen with this code. And again, we have compilation failed due to following errors. Line number 17, error expected, curly bracket at the end of input. So it's showing that after this point, we should have a curly bracket. So we can just add curly bracket over there, run again, and we will able to see that everything is fine again. Cool. So as you saw, the compilation console is showing us relatively accurately where we should look for the errors, which is very handy. And you always need to carefully read what is happening in the console, in the command line exit. Okay. In the first chapter, I mentioned that the include IOStream is the library which is used to give guidance to compiler how to use cout keywords. So as we know, cout is used as a common output. We use it as to print out data to console. So let's see what's going to happen if we delete this include over there. Obviously, we have again the compilation error, and we can see that the error description is error cout was not declared in the scope, which means that the compiler don't know what this keyword is doing because it's not implemented in the library. So it's not a standard C++ keyword as it is. So after adding back the IOStream, it will start working at the moment. So you can see finished with exit code 0. So everything is all right. Let's have a look what is going to happen after deleting our using namespace std. So as you remember, using namespace std is thanks to that we don't need to use std ... before cout. And again, it's an error. Cout was not declared in scope because cout itself is not declared. But reading later, note suggested alternative. We can see that they're suggesting using std cout, and they're suggesting as a repair for our bug. So let's have a look what is going to happen after suggested solution. So as we can see, now the program compiled correctly. So adding std and double dot character, it can be used in a similar way as using namespace std basically. So it's all fine. Okay, let's have a look on one more thing. What is going to happen if we just by any mistake delete smaller than character? So you can see that again we have some error type, no match for operator. So it's telling that the compiler doesn't understand single operator, the single character of smaller than. And it's pointing out immediately in a place where we have this bug. So we can immediately spot out that there is some problem in this place. So let's add the bug, and now it should be again everything okay. Again, question is what can happen if we make a typo in the type? Because when we defining the function, we need to have a type and then the name. So in this case, I make a typo. Instead of int, I made int, and we can see that it's not name of a type. We can define this type, but in this case, it's not defined anyway, so it's causing an error again. So to summarize, when you have an error, it's very